Just like most black immigrants from Africa and the Caribbean islands, I began to really see myself as a black person when I migrated to Canada from Nigeria. Society made me more conscious of my blackness, and I realized that some people treated me differently based on my color. Racism is something we hardly talk about in Canada because we are just too polite to admit it exists. And when we do, we tend to underplay it by pointing fingers at our neighbors down south. But who feels it, knows it. I have heard stories and met with black Canadians who were denied opportunities because of their race, and I have personally experienced racism in various shades. It is rather unfortunate that in the year 2020, we still have to take to the streets to fight for the rights of black people. The recent murder of George Floyd by the police in the United States has spurred another round of protests all over the world. I participated in some of the recent protests. Sadly, along with my son. Here is part of what I witnessed at the protests.
That change. Amen. That is the only way we're going to make that change. So I want to say thank you. Please continue the support. But when we are done here today, the work still needs to be done. You hear something, you say something. You see something, you say something. Silence, as we know, speaks volumes. Don't let the room you're sitting in silence you. It speaks volumes. And we all need to make sure that we use our voice. Hell yeah! Not just today, not just on the street, not just because we want an outing because of COVID, because we actually care. We all collectively together as an entire nation witnessed a murder. Yeah. I don't know how many of you are comfortable that your children had to send and tell and explain a message as to why the very people who we have been groomed to feel safe and protected by, decided to take the life of a man. No questions asked, simply because he shared the same melanin as I did. Yeah. We all have an opportunity and a means to send that message of how wrong that is. And we have to take that position seriously. In our communities, in our homes, in our schools. I'm a part of it. I get that platform, and I am so grateful. I am so grateful that I have young minds and I will be able to not only tell the message, but show the message. I'm here today for advance. Your babies, your grandbabies, your nieces, your nephews, they will see that benefit. More likely than me. But guess what? I'm okay.
More likely than me too.
I'm okay with that. My old knees. But we're doing it for our babies.
That's right.
Because our grandfathers, grandmothers, aunties, and uncles did it for us.
That's right.
Didn't think I'd have to come back and continue that, but if we have to, we will. And we do. So today, tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, next decade. I tell it, we will continue with this. And that will only happen if we all do it together. One voice, one message, one unity.
You see something, you say something. This is it's about one voice. It's about one message. It's about one unity.
There's a calculus on who should be in prison because the prison industrial system, every bed they have in those prisons is owned by somebody. Somebody's paid money for that bed. The food is for them. In other words, those prison beds, where those prisoners are making other people healthy and wealthy and able to go to the Caribbean and enjoy themselves. How do you live in a society? How do you run? How are you part of a power broken of a society and you can live with that? I asked you at the beginning I'll give you a piece of homework. But before I do that, you may wonder, what is it like to be a black person? What is it like to be inside of a black person? What is it like? Well, from personal experience is this. Under the Canadian Charter of Rights, I'm Canadian. I'm full Canadian. However, to much of the society, I'm also somebody who is at large. You understand the distinction? I'm on parole. Whenever I'm out, I'm at large. And what does it mean? Come with me in my vehicle. I'm taking my family to the zoo, or to the museum, or somewhere. And while we're driving, we pass a police car. We just pass a car. We don't know if they've seen us, whatever, but immediately in the car, the atmosphere becomes as thick as folded cheese. And my grandkids at the back, and my kids, are looking at me. And my spouse is looking at me to see if I will look into the rearview mirror, or the side mirror. And I know I dare not do that. Because if I look at it, I want to be sure that if they're following me. But I dare not look in that mirror because the tension in the car would just increase right up and tighten up. And guess what? The police don't even have seen me. So even if they don't see you, you're being policed. That's what being a black person is in this country. To be a black person, it is traveling along a roadway, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, traffic on both sides. And a police is behind you. And immediately, the intestines, the stomach muscles, tighten and ring like when the rain closes out. It ring out, ring your clothes out, it ring your clothes, ring your stomach. And then the anger you feel surging like a volcano through your body when you realize they can't pull you over because you're in a goddamn bus. In a streetcar traveling and they can't pull you over.
Only 61 years ago, when the community was protesting another black family, one other black family, for moving into the neighborhood. This was only 61 years ago. The Pullman should rule was free men. We must fight, fight, fight. Yes, fight for the right. For right, it must prevail. When tyranny rises up its head, we must fight both tooth and nail. For we live in the land of the brave and the free. And to be free, we must be brave. And when confronted with things like these, in a land where all men are free, we must fight against that tyrant's knife.
To uphold our liberties, whether you are red, yellow, black, white, or brown, we all live under the Almighty's crown. We would stand, and divided we would fall. So we stood together to gain freedom for all.
Well, now the war is over, and some try to erect that wall, and they tell the black man that he is no good at all. They do not want to live in the same locality, or give them employment, or equality. But you do not judge a man by his color, you see. It is by what is in him, and what good he can be.
To uphold our standards in this land of free, God made every color and creed. He breathed in man the breath that they breathe. Do you breathe any better? Red, yellow, black, brown, or white?
I say no, because God breathed in all men alike. Do you breathe any better? Red, yellow, black, brown, or white? I say no, because God breathed in all men alike. Unfortunately, that threatening face. Be that ally. Be the best person to